The Epilepsy Foundation acknowledges the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation as the traditional owners of the land on which this property stands. We respectfully recognise elders both past and present.
I'm Emma and I'm 35. I live with epilepsy as a result of a stroke I had when I was 19. It's controlled, but you live with epilepsy day by day. I work at the Epilepsy Foundation in social media and communications, and I'm currently in my third trimester of pregnancy. Around 2 years ago, I went and paid a visit to my neurologist just for some information on if and when I decided to get pregnant, and he informed me that I was currently on the best medication to be pregnant on with epilepsy. So there was no concern there, and after that, he recommended I start taking folate just in case, and that's what I did, and I've been on folate tablets for the past 2 years, so I was lucky in that respect. I just wanted to get the okay from him, and just to make sure I was doing the right thing, and sometimes these things happen when you don't even expect it. So, yeah, I guess that you have to be realistic, or in that respect. One of my triggers for seizures is definitely sleep, or lack of sleep, and stress, and basically just overtiredness, so sleep. So from the moment I found out I was pregnant, I had to really consider my lifestyle and my health in general, and whether I was getting enough sleep. And in regards to the stroke, on top of the epilepsy, I knew I'd become a little bit sore, or a lot sore. So it was pain management and mind management, and so stroke fatigue and epilepsy fatigue from the medication. And it was just basically learning how to relax and take a step back and realise that I couldn't do everything I was used to doing. That was very hard. I found out I was pregnant, and we had planned a very big trip, and we were leaving in 3 weeks' time to go to the UK and the Greek Isles. So I was a little bit anxious about the international flights and the time changes and just travel in general. So, yeah, there was quite a few big considerations in regards to that, and there was quite a few times when I had to be reminded by my partner that I was pregnant, and you just can't do as much as you were doing, just chill out. So it's literally just been like telling myself slow down, and just a small thing that has really helped. I downloaded that Rain app on my phone, and that has helped me so greatly, getting to sleep, and just little tiny practical things like that. And I've been told you should be napping during the day, and I'm not a napper, so I've been reading and just lying flat on my bed more often than I ever have been. So, yeah, that's my version of meditation, I guess. I've got a great team around me, which is my obstetrician, neurologist, and neurosurgeon. The neurosurgeon came into it because initially, when I found out I was pregnant, I think maybe wanting to have a natural birth, and the neurosurgeon said we can't 100% guarantee that if you have a natural birth, you won't cause another brain bleed. So that was ruled out from the start, and so now we're going with a cesarean. And the team of doctors, along with my GP, are all coordinating together, and because it's a cesarean, they all know the date, and they've been communicating together, and it's been really easy so far. About a year before I fell pregnant, I went and saw the neurologist because personally I wanted to lower my dosage. As everybody knows, there is a few factors that come into play with the side effects of epilepsy medication, and I just wanted to lower it for my own sake, and we did that, and it was all going well. And when I did fall pregnant, the neurologist said everything can stay the same for now, and as of last week, he's slightly upped my medication because the birth is impending, and that's just what they have to do. I hadn't had a seizure in 3 years, and that was such a great thing. And unfortunately, in October, I did have one, and that was, thank God, it wasn't just out of the blue. It was a combination of quite a few things. The most important one being I forgot my medication that day, and I was tired, and et cetera. So, yeah, I did have a tonic-clonic seizure, and coincidentally, the very next day I had an appointment with my obstetrician and an ultrasound, so I was very, very nervous about that, and the lack of oxygen to the baby, and etc. And the obstetrician reassured me that at around 20 weeks the baby is very resilient, and so there was no problem with that. And I also saw my neurologist a few days later, and he said it's fine. Well, it's not fine, but the fact that there was reasons and we could pinpoint those reasons made it okay. So it just brought home the fact that I had to be really on top of the medication, because everybody's forgotten medication in the past, and what I failed to realise just for 5 minutes is it's not just me anymore. There's a baby as well. So your body's working 1,000 times harder, and it needed that medication to keep me safe. And so I haven't forgotten it again. Remembering my medication and resting enough, and realising I can't do everything I used to do. But I think another strategy that is really just as important is having a proper support network around you. Specifically, my partner has really stepped up to the plate. Foot massages every night, and I've been having cravings for banoffee pie and donuts and chocolate. So he's had quite a few late night runs to the shop and just little things like that. Just knowing there's someone there who you can rely on and who is willing to do whatever is necessary. And unfortunately, all my family live in another state, and my partner's family all live overseas. So it's just us at the moment. The international and interstate phone calls have been very much increased. But another thing I've done is have a planning meeting with the NDIS just for obviously the future, which is 6 weeks away with the baby. In practical terms, unfortunately, I won't be able to do everything that your average mother can do in regards to a newborn. So little things like bathing the baby, that's obviously a little bit dangerous for anyone with epilepsy, as well as the other side of the coin is the repercussions of my stroke. I've got right-sided paralysis, so regardless of the epilepsy, it would have been very, very difficult bathing a baby with one hand. I know some people do it, and kudos to them, but yeah, I'm not sure. So the NDIS hopefully will provide me with a bit of extra assistance, help with the baby, and I'm not entirely sure what is going to happen, but I've covered that, and my partner is actually getting I think 17 weeks off work, so he's going to be around a fair bit as well. And just knowing there's valuable support around is vital. Unfortunately, no one is going to hand everything to you on a silver platter, so you have to actually seek out what services are available to you, and there is so much out there. First and foremost, the Epilepsy Foundation provides great support, even if you just want to have a general chat with one of our support workers around pregnancy or after you've had the baby, and you can actually request to have a female support worker chat to you on the phone. And then there's always community support groups like mothers groups and NDIS. And I've found if you ask your GP or your obstetrician, they will be able to point you in a kind of vague direction, but there is support out there, and even Facebook groups. And so basically, in summary, well, in my experience, my probably top 5 necessary things to take away for women considering becoming pregnant, it would be, number 1, go and see your neurologist and just have a chat about your medication, your lifestyle, what you have to do, etc., etc. And number 2, definitely start taking folate tablets. Number 3, it should probably be number 1. Make sure you've got a really, really good support network around you, whether it be your partner or your family or friends, or if you've got a really tight-knit community, just make sure they're all on board. Number 4, definitely make sure you've got a good team around you of professionals. Like I mentioned previously, my obstetrician, neurosurgeon and neurologist, and a GP. And number 5 would basically be self-care. Like, take time out for yourself, be selfish, and do what you want to do, not what you think you have to do, and don't feel obliged to go and socialise with people that you really couldn't care less about, and just relax and indulge when you can. So yeah.